And I knew a bit about her. I knew how she grew up. I knew that she kind of was one of these people. What tends to be the case is that when you grow up with everything, you create things out of nothing because you're looking for struggle in your life because it's satire, right? He's arguing that, satire, and satire is protected speech, and that when he assumed this nice pool character, oh, well, you got hurt feelings, but it does not rise to an actual defamation.
Blake Lively is reportedly in panic mode after Candace Owens hit her with a staggering $100 million lawsuit. Rumors claim Owens has solid evidence showing Blake twisted the truth and manipulated deals behind the scenes, all while maintaining her trademark smile in public. Now, with what insiders describe as the most daunting legal challenge of her career, Blake is scrambling to keep the situation under wraps, fearing the fallout could damage both her image and professional standing.
So what kind of a monster even goes through with this CRD filing and doesn't include the proper context of these things? Like, he showed me a pornographic video on the phone.
With every piece of evidence Candace Owens claims to hold, the carefully crafted image of Blake Lively is starting to unravel, exposing someone described as calculating, controlling, and relentlessly determined to get her way. If Owens succeeds, Blake may not be able to escape the fallout. Public reaction has been explosive. Fans are furious, voicing their disgust and disappointment, saying they feel completely betrayed. Online outrage continues to surge, with many insisting this scandal reveals that Blake may not be the sweet, innocent starlet she has long portrayed herself to be.
I would not have said, quote unquote, hurt feelings and saying, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit. And I'm going, guys,
viewers are now casting Blake Lively as the ultimate villain in this unfolding drama, demanding a direct apology, something along the lines of, "I'm sorry I lied and I've behaved terribly." Fans believe she completely unraveled after being hit with the court filing, and many say it feels like she's once again trying to bully her way through by firing back with another lawsuit. Reports suggest Blake is in full panic mode as Candace Owens' legal action highlights her self-absorbed behavior, and the situation appears to be spiraling further out of control.
If they lose in the real court, obviously they're going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars that are at stake, but also in the court of public opinion, hundreds of millions of dollars are at stake. And so this filing to dismiss is essentially him saying, nah, boo-boo, I'm defamation.
Many now believe Ryan Reynolds is on the verge of facing even tougher defamation charges as his fragile legal defense collapses and leaves both him and Blake Lively dangerously exposed. Blake's public image is in free fall, her once solid Hollywood reputation crumbling in real time. For someone who once carried herself like the industry was her personal kingdom, flipping her blonde hair with queen bee confidence and ruling over a tight-knit clique, the humiliation cuts deep. Then, March 2025 struck like a speeding truck, smashing straight into her carefully built empire.
For this on my show, totally understandable legal maneuver. Of course, you're going to try to get your clients dismissed from a lawsuit. So we're seeing that from Leslie Sloan. We're seeing that.
It became increasingly clear that Blake Lively was the main aggressor in this unfolding showdown as one revelation followed another. First came Justin Baldoni's counter lawsuit. Then Brian Friedman dropped a staggering 170 pages of texts and evidence online, fueling doubts that had already begun when the Times exposed cracks in Blake's carefully crafted nice girl persona. Many fans had long suspected something wasn't right, and comparisons to Taylor Swift's guarded image only added to the skepticism. Justin Baldoni's social media presence, which radiates genuine kindness, made it even harder for people to believe he was the villain. Eventually, Candace Owens reached her breaking point, accusing Blake of relentless manipulation and finally filing a lawsuit loud, public, and impossible to ignore.
I would not have said, quote unquote, hurt feelings and saying, they're basically bullying him again in the lawsuit. And I'm going, guys, that's not good. Don't do that. This is not a great way to argue, especially because they've got you on this.
Oh no! Blake roared back, flipping Hollywood's script upside down. For years, she seemed convinced she could control any storyline, flashing that practiced smile on the red carpet while secretly pulling strings behind the scenes. Raised with privilege, Blake may have believed she could stir up drama whenever boredom struck, always assured she'd get her way. But now, with Candace Owens coming after her through the courts, reality has hit hard. Reports claim Blake's crying, throwing things and lashing out like a spoiled star suddenly forced to confront the truth. She's not the universe's center.
There's 5 other claims. He's got extortion, he's got false light, and everything immediately falls apart there. But I'm saying,
when Brian Friedman dropped undeniable proof, it shattered the fantasy world Blake Lively had worked so hard to create. For years, she polished the image of the perfect wife, devoted mother, and flawless star. But all it took was Candace Owens stepping into court with hard evidence to unravel that carefully built illusion. The fallout has been both shocking and, to some, darkly ironic. As the chaos spills into Hollywood's financial bloodstream, massive money issues are now on the line, careers dangle by a thread, reputations crumble, and legal bills soar. Trust in these high-profile figures is vanishing at record speed, all because Blake couldn't rein in her explosive tantrums or abandon her obsessive need to control everything and everyone around her. From studios to PR agencies, no corner of Hollywood has been spared from the storm she unleashed.
He's basically saying, well, I didn't receive any money. And it's like, buddy, extortion is a lot bigger than that. You made threats to go public with harassment claims.
The public is devouring this drama like it's the juiciest reality show of the year, fueled by the fact that many fans already can't stand Blake enter her supposed knight in shining armor. Ryan Reynolds, the man scrambling to disappear from Justin Baldoni's lawsuit like a magician botching a cheap trick. By March 2025, Ryan tried to excuse himself from the case, portraying his role as nothing more than a helpless husband watching his wife wreak havoc. But the claim is laughable, considering he was the one gleefully spreading gossip and labeling Baldoni a harasser at Hollywood's social gatherings. They have definitely met, I would say, the preliminary standard to go through.
They have definitely met, I would say, the preliminary standard to go through.
Ryan told the court his comments were nothing more than opinion or comedy. But that defense doesn't hold up. Labeling someone a harasser in front of the press is hardly a playful joke. With allegations of coercion, false light, and more piled against him, it's difficult to see the judge letting him walk free. Ryan also tried to dismiss extortion claims by insisting he never took any money. Yet, critics quickly noted extortion isn't about cash, it's the threats that truly matter. And my guess is, when we get to that discovery, there's going to be a lot stronger defamation claim.
And my guess is when we get to that discovery, there's going to be a lot stronger defamation claim.
Leaked evidence suggests Ryan allegedly threatened to spread false claims in order to help Blake seize control of a shared project. Fans are buzzing over Ryan's private texts with Hugh Jackman messages he clearly doesn't want exposed. The speculation is wild, with many wondering just how much trash talk Ryan may have unleashed about Justin behind the scenes if those conversations ever surface.
You know, if Hugh Jackman, anyone getting deposed who's got to make arrangements for it, if they have to get their own lawyers or whatever it is, and here's Ryan, should be looking.
Legal insiders predict the defamation charges against Ryan Reynolds are about to explode, especially if his private messages become evidence. Attorney Brian Friedman, leading the case, isn't holding back, accusing Ryan of actively helping sabotage Justin Baldoni's career and presenting his arguments with the precision of a championship debater. If Ryan ends up dragging others like Hugh Jackman into depositions, it could snowball into endless legal fees and scheduling chaos. Yet, the spotlight inevitably shifts back to the saga's central villain, Blake Lively. Online, her reputation has collapsed, with fans branding her a spoiled, entitled tyrant whose facade has completely crumbled.
You imagine the text messages between him and Hugh Jackman as they're putting together all of these scenes. I mean, it's
Candace Owens didn't hold back in the court filings, painting Blake Lively as someone who's never lifted a finger yet leaves chaos in her wake. With a privileged upbringing, a glittering Hollywood career, and a circle of A-list allies, Blake allegedly concocted a ruthless plan to destroy reputations and lives the moment she sensed her power, threatened exposing a darker side hidden behind her polished public image.
They're losing here, and these people have to be furious. I mean, they're all going to have to pay for the association.
Candace Owens didn't hold back, branding Blake Lively as an insecure troublemaker who thrives on constant drama. The lawsuit details how Blake allegedly weaponized the media to tear others down, even using a flashy New York Times feature as her personal tool, conveniently omitting key facts while framing Justin Baldoni as the true villain in her narrative.
But boy, I mean, it's just like, it's kind of embarrassing, right?
The media long painted Blake Lively as a misunderstood angel, but Candace Owens wasn't fooled. She called out the lies, insisting Blake's sweet actress persona was nothing more than a carefully crafted mask. Now Candace is demanding accountability both in public and in court for the chaos Blake has allegedly caused. Fans, meanwhile, are eating up the spectacle, thrilled to watch someone finally challenge her glossy facade. For years, whispers claimed Blake smiled for the cameras while secretly pulling strings and quietly dismantling reputations behind the scenes.